Okay.
Can we get the motion to be updated as well with the voting results? That first, then the live stream. Okay, thank you. Okay, people, you all can put down your hands. Thank you so much. Live, you can bring it back up already. Oh, great. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the assembly. With that, motion 55, the result of the voting is 11 full members voting for Amy with 1 spot vote. And that means that this motion is passed. That means that the 24th IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Assembly elects Amy Kramer as the Secretary of IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Office for the year 2022-2023. Congratulations, Amy. Would you like to say a few words?
Try not to cry. Thank you guys so much for trusting me with this. I promise to work to the best of my ability to really have a really powerful next mandate. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Amy. With that, I'll let move on to the next motion. Motion 56, please. Okay, motion 56 reads this: the 24th IPS Asia Pacific Regional Assembly mandates Regional Assembly mandates the IPSF APRO Regional Working Group to release a second call for nomination for the Regional Media and Publications Officer of the IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Office for the year 2022-2023 and postpone the election of this office to a later date. This motion shall not be reviewed once it has been achieved. Does anybody have any members of the assembly wish to speak on this motion? Suyin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. This is Suyin, IPSF APRO Secretary. So, as a point of information, we did not receive any nominations for the position of RMPO for 2022 to 2023. Therefore, why we are proposing to open up the second round nominations and postpone the election of this office to a later date.
Okay, thank you. Does any of the delegates from the assembly wish to speak on this? Okay, I would like to. Okay, I see that there are no other. I see that there are no other new comments on this motion. So this will be proceeded to vote, right? So for full members who are against this motion, please put up your voting cards. For full members who are against this motion, please put out your voting cards. Okay, for full members who are for this motion, please put out your voting cards. Full members who are for this motion, put out your voting cards. Mm. 27. Scrutineers, please start to count and update the voting results, please. Do we have somebody from KNAPS, Korea? From KNAPS, South Korea? KNAPS, Republic of Korea? Okay. And anyone from NZEPSO? Okay, NZEPSO is here. Okay, please help to update full members. Thank you so much. You can put on your voting cards. Yeah, please update the parliamentary system first. Okay, before I announce the voting results, I'm aware that there's an observer who indicated the intention to speak, but by the time the observer has made the intention made known to the committee, it's already the open discussion has closed and proceeded to voting. Therefore, the new comment will not be acknowledged. So please help me to clear off the name, and I would like to encourage all members to make sure you submit the intention to speak, the new comment, early through the voting list next time. With that, this motion has 12 full members voting for. Motion 56 has passed unanimously. With that, I would like to move on to motion 57. Can we have motion 57 on the parliamentary system, please? And help to clear the and help to clear the speaker list. Can we clear the speaker list first, since the motion haven't been opened? Thank you. Okay, with that, motion 57 reads this: the 24th IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Assembly elects the following candidate as the Regional Relations Officer of the IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Office for the year 2022 to 2023. We have received 2 nominations. We have received 2 nominations for Ms. Patricia Heidi and Ms. Chawanya Tamrong Liraha. So since Ms. Patricia Heidi, okay, at this point, can I clarify from the regional secretary, from whom do we receive the nomination first? And who should go first?
Thank you for the floor, IPSF APRO Secretary Suen. So the folders are numbered in the order that the nominations were received in.
Okay, so we have the first candidate. We'll go through the okay, just a moment. Yeah. Okay, we'll go through the nomination form first, followed by the 3-minute speech. Okay, I'm sorry. I have completed sharing the nomination form for Tang O. With that, I'd like to pass the floor to Tang O to deliver her 3-minute speech before we go into the second candidate, and then we go into open discussion. With that, I would like to Okay, thank you for helping to mute the person, the delegate. Okay, with that, 3 minutes for Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK, for giving me the floor. And hello, everyone. I'm Shilanya, but most of you might know me as Tango, the CP of PSAT Thailand. Today, I'm here to present myself as a nominee for RRO. At the very beginning of my mandate as a contact person, my first motivation was to gain my self-experience. But after I served pharmacy student in PSAT and got to take part in IPSF, my motivation has been changed. Throughout this mandate, IPSF has shown me that together we are stronger. So the reason I applied for RIO is to help IPSF and APRO with the connection of each sector and expand the cooperation to build opportunities and benefits for others. To sum up my plan for the upcoming mandate, I would like to focus on 3 things. First, I will sustain and develop involvement in internal relations by focusing on engagement. Point out the value of APRO by initiating more accessible activities for all members, such as CP Social Nights or APRO Focus Project, with extending these manners of activities for all members. And towards our member and my new initiatives like pen pal, as I mentioned on my application. Second, I would like to sustain external relations by maintaining and strengthening a good relation between APRO and its stakeholders, such as means AYPG, IFMSA, etc. Furthermore, I would like to emphasize our strengths in campaigns, uniqueness of multicultural and teamwork, and promote it to all members as well as external companies or organizations that might approach us for a sponsor or partnerships. Lastly, I will develop our database, which includes the CP database, member database, and external stakeholders database for reference to the APRO RWGN team and the most sustainable approach when needed. I know my experience in IPSF might not much, but all the work experience I have done in my life taught me enough to ensure that I could serve in APRO as an RRO. Mahatma Gandhi once said the best way to fight yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I think I found myself belonging to APRO. Last but not least, to all official delegates, whether I will get elected or not, I trust in you all's decision. Let's make a better way together and trust in me. I will never let you down. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tango, for that. Right now, I would like to proceed to the next candidate, candidate 2, Ms. Patricia Heidi. I'll be screening through the nomination form first. Okay. With that being done, to share the nomination form for the next candidate, I would like to pass the floor to the next candidate. Sorry to the observer as well. The floor for discussion has yet to open. So speaker list need to be cleared first. I'd like to pass the floor to Ms. Patricia Heidi for your speech for 3 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. What you perceive externally is the manifestation of some internal part of you, meaning that what APRO perceives as benefiting partnerships and expansion is also the manifestation of a strong team inside. Good morning, afternoon, evening to all of you. My name is Heidi from Indonesia, and I'm here to tell you my story on how the Federation has helped me as a person and inspired me to become the next Regional Relations Officer of the IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Office next mandate. I remember back in July 2021, I was still a 19 years old girl. At the time, I knew very little about IPSF. Upon graduating from the IPSF APRO Leaders in Training 2021, I was inspired to know more about the Federation. I remember asking my current CP back then the exact reason on why she decided to become a CP. She told me the reason why she's now successful and aspiring as a person is because of IPSF itself. Hence, she felt the need to contribute back to the Federation. And then upon elected as a new contact person, I asked myself, how can a young girl like me be able to serve the Federation? How can someone new like me know the exact way in sharing IPSF values to my members and vice versa? The answer lies in 3 elements: capacity, involvement, and recognition. As a future regional relations officer, my plan includes to increase the capacity of contact persons so that they could be more involved, and then we will recognize their hard work afterwards. This includes initiatives such as CP training, APRO mentoring program involving alumni, Best CP, SCO, and Project of the Month. Not to forget, RWGs also need to reach out to member organizations through initiatives such as offline association visit. This way, a young girl like me that I mentioned previously could still give her maximum capacity to serve the Federation. Relating to my overall direction, which is manifest internally to perceive externally, I believe what we have inside will help us in our external relations. As a previous RO subcommittee myself, I would like to utilize the strong APRO team and member inside to help in expanding APRO's branding and relations on the outward approach, because I know we have the potential. I would like to do this by increasing the amount of delegatable work for my future subcommittees, involving them in finding speakers for RPO projects, and enacting the Best Subcommittee of the Month award. In addition, I would also like to share a bit that in June this year, I got the chance to attend an offline MUN conference in Singapore. As the head delegate, I was also in charge of finding sponsors to fund me and my fellow delegates for our departure. I would like to emphasize this as I believe the RWG members' next mandate need to be prepared in handling offline conferences, especially to help APPS and GPPD offline next year. In the end, I would like to restate that my nomination comes from the deepest desire in my heart that I want to give the best and contribute back for APRO and the loving family I have here. Hence, I'm here to serve you all and help in the best way I can. Together, let's manifest internally and perceive externally. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Patricia Heidi. With that, I would like to open the floor for discussion. How it will go is that, how it will go is that you'll be asking a question, a general question, a non-specific question, a non-candidate specific question, and then it will be take turn to answer. So 1 minute question, 1 minute each for the answer. So we'll go by the order and we'll reverse the order. What it means is that for the first question, Tango will answer first, followed by Heidi. Then the next question will be Heidi first, then Tango. Okay. And as a new comments, people asking questions, please ask non-specific questions that isn't targeted at any individual candidate. This is as directed by the official documents. And with that, I'd like to open the floor, pass the floor to the observer. Can I know who is the observer who made this, who wish to speak? Who is the observer who wish to speak on this motion? Okay, if I give you another 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds to indicate that you wish to speak. If not, we'll move on. Okay, I'm sorry to the observer who indicated the interest. Thank you. Okay, I would like to pass the floor to Franz Matthew from UFA Philippines. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. So I'm Matthew from the Philippines, and I was wondering, since if I do recall correctly, we usually IPSF and IPSF APRO usually partners with organizations that are related to healthcare. Sorry, healthcare. So I was wondering if there's any particular organization that you want to partner with that's not necessarily covering healthcare issues. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew, UFA Philippines. Tango first, followed by Heidi, 1 minute each. Tango, you can go first.
Thank you, TK, for giving me the floor, and thank you for the question. As far as I know, we already have a partnership with the WHO CRO, and I quite don't remember the name of the other one. Yes, but yeah, I think that I think we should maintain the relationship between IPSF and APRO with the WHO and strengthening our relationship together. And maybe for the upcoming mandate, we might have some collaborative project together. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tango. Next is Patricia Heidi. 1 minute, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Matthew, for the question. So as I recall, your question was how I plan to approach organizations that are not related to healthcare. So as you can see, RPO this year made the initiative of World Environmental Health Day Conference, where they worked together with Mother Earth Foundation, an environmental related foundation, to become one of the mentors for the programs called Solvit APRO. And perhaps that is one example that I would also try in my mandate to approach environmental related foundation or organizations or youth related organizations, so that our collaboration does not necessarily have to be all 100% about healthcare all the time. Thank you.
Thank you both for your answer. I would like to get do we have a direct comment from the observer? Observer, if you're direct, please indicate in the chat box. I see that there's none. I would like to move on to the next new comment. For Rachel Eileen Magalindong from FUG PPHA Philippines, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. I am Kelly from FJ Philippines. I just want to ask both candidates, what qualities do you have that set you apart from the other contender that would make you more fit as APRO's next regional relations officer? Thank you.
Hi, Kelly. I can't permit that since it's a candidate specific. That might require a specific indication. May I propose that you rephrase the question so that each candidate can answer independently?
Okay.
Thank you.
May I ask what you can offer to the regional relations of IPSF APRO that would improve the relations of APRO with all the member organizations?
Thank you, Rachel. Since Tango answered first, now Heidi will answer first. Heidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for your question. So as I mentioned before in my speech, there are 3 elements that I want to do to approach member organizations and increase regional relations, which involves capacity, so like CP training or mentoring program, involvement, something like CP official handover and APRO roundtable meetings, APRO monthly reminders, and then also recognition by enacting the best CP, SEO, and project of the month. That way, by using all 3 elements, member organizations can feel more encouragement to be more involved in the regional office, especially from the regional relations portfolio. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Tango. The floor is yours.
Thank you, TK, and thank you for your question, Kelly. So for me, I think I have a strong leadership. Meanwhile, I listen to the others, and I am open-minded, compromise, and understand other people. As well as my strongest strength is that I'm very optimistic, cheerful, so I can always persuade and cheer my colleagues up to be active to their work. And also for like all of my personality I have mentioned, that could help increase the involvement of the member organization. And moreover, I can also speak Chinese, even though it hasn't been used for a while, but I'm still able to communicate, which is I think it would be beneficial to reach to the China for a new member. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to pass the floor to Andini from Islam Farsi Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Right, thank you, Chair. And in News of First Indonesia, I'd just like to ask, as your task for RO is to communicate with CPs, what are each of your strategies and plan to guide new CPs or new organizations who might have difficulties in serving the region? Thank you.
Thank you. Since Heidi went first, I'd like to pass the floor to Tango. Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK, and thank you for the question. To answer this question, sorry. Yes, I think we already have a handover meeting for the CP. So for me, I will continue this meeting with, I might review the materials for handovering, and also if there's something to like be updated, I will revise it, and I will make sure that every contact person get like they understand like everything. And also, as I mentioned in my application, I'm gonna have like a CP cares, which I will assign to the subcommittees to liaising to the CP directly. So it's going to be a direct chat between the subcommittee and CP. So we can always update, and like the CP can talk to the subcommittee like very, like conveniently and comfortably. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tango. Right now, I would like to pass the floor to Heidi. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Andini, for your question. So I understand the concern about we having new CPs and new MOs. So for that, as I mentioned in my nomination form, I will include a mentoring program. The duration could be adjusted like a 3 months long program. This will also involve alumni as well as RWGs as the mentors and RO subcoms as well. Then this program will cover about how to pay membership fees, instilling a sense of organization in the new member organization, how to write activity reports, how to write annual reports, how to conduct campaign, project planning and implementation, so that we can help them how they can contribute and more actively in the regional office itself, because new CPs and new MOs especially, they need guidance. And I think that's one of RO's main job in ensuring that they have the best guidance once they enter the regional office. Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor to Observer, and the Observer who is going to speak next. Give me a moment. Is actually Anissa Rinenda Prananto from Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'm Rena from Indonesia. I'd like to ask about what do you want to improve from last year's mandate on the RRO specifically? Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, I would like to invite Ms. Patricia Heidi to answer first. Heidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Rena, for your answer. So as an RO subcommittee myself, I see some areas of improvement that can be improved by the next RO in a future mandate, which is one, increasing the amount of delegatable work for RO subcoms, as I myself feel that there is more that we can do as RO subcoms. That is first. And then second, we could encourage members who have no full membership who haven't had any full membership in APRO so that they can apply. And then third, we can involve CPs in especially like APRO focus project and also CP social night, and so that they can be more active, and also APRO monthly discussion. The one thing that I would like to improve here. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Tango. Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions as well. To answer your question, since I'm not knowing much about RIO, but as far as I know, the RIO workload is responsible by mostly by RIO only. So I would like to give the role for subcommittee more by just I mentioned to my new initiatives about CP care, so the subcommittee will get more experience in the works, and I think since I don't really know much about the RRO workload, so first of all I have to learn about it, and then I will can give you a very in detail plan. But I'm sure that there is no concern because I'm a fast learning and I will never stop learning. So
1 minute has passed. Sorry,
okay.
There.
Sorry.
Next, I would like to pass the floor to Ms. Amiratu Mutia Wisasani from HMF API TV Indonesia. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you, TK. And this is Amiratu Oraya from HMFAP ITB. So thank you as well to Tang O and Heidi for your speeches. I'd like to ask though, we could see that from both of you, we had some sort of experience or exposure to this type of role. So how would you implement from what you've learned from these exposures or experiences into the role as an RRO? Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Tango first. Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you. As I mentioned in my work experience, especially the one that I was an exchange student before, that made me very open-minded and understand other people and understand the difference between the people. So I think I could take this my personality of this to understand to help me with the work as a RRO. RRO have to connect to the internal and external relations. So this might help a lot about this. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tango. Right now, I would like to pass the floor to Heidi. Heidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Amiratu, for your question. So I would like to mention 3 experiences that I can learn about when I'm running for RO. Is that 1, I was the team leader of RO subcommittee. 2nd, I was the contact person myself. And 3rd, I'm an LIT graduate. So from what I got from becoming a team leader of the RO subcommittees, that I got leadership skills that I can use to lead my subcoms later on. And then 2nd, as a CP, I get communication skills on how to approach different people with different personalities. From LIT, I got how to be organized, and I also got time management lessons. And then 4th, by becoming a CP myself, I can also learn about project management because I have to do PHPD and PE initiatives in my own member organization. So I will use those skills and knowledge to the maximum utility as an RO. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. With that, I would like to pass the floor to Paul Darrell Meneses from IPSF Chairperson of External Relations. The floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. Thank you, Chair. And I'm Paul, the Chairperson of External Relations. Thank you very much to both candidates for your respective nominations. So it's well known with Asia Pacific region that IFMSA Asia Pacific has been the sole student organization that IPSF APRO has been collaborating for a long time now. So my question to both candidates is, what other student organization that other than the medical student itself do you wish to establish a regional connection for IPSF APRO to benefit for a greater regional exposure for the next upcoming mandates as a potential APRO, RO, and why? Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I would like to pass the floor to Heidi first. Heidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Paul, for your question. I can see the importance of interprofessional collaboration as an important portfolio that IPSF should try. And therefore, I found a great organization that is more like IPSF APRO called AMSA, Asian Medical Student Association, of which it is more on the Asia Pacific scale. And it is also related to medical student. However, it is quite different from IFMSA. And I can also see from my research that AMSA has similar initiatives and collaborations. They also have student exchange program, something that we can work on about together. But more than AMSA, I plan to also approach other organizations as well that may not be related to medical students. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Tango. Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK, and thank you for the question. For me, as far as I know, we already have a partnership with IFMSA and IPSA, but to come and think of this, I think we should be able to approach to the nurse and scientist students association as well. Like, I haven't do the research, but I think we should approach through these two organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I would like to pass the floor to Gita Maryland from Isma Fasi, Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, TK. Hello, my name is Gita from Isma Fasi, Indonesia. I would like to ask, throughout your experience being active in organizational work, what challenges do you usually face or potentially will be facing in this role, and how do you overcome them? Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to pass the floor to Tango first. Tango, the floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. Throughout this mandate, I have faced some, I think, the problem about regarding the communication, since I think the time zone and maybe our workload in school affects a lot when like we have to have an assignment to work together. So it is sometimes hard for us to schedule meetings or work together. But I think for the next mandate, as I mentioned, my new initiatives about CP cares that could help a lot, like to understand the CP and their situation, so we can like arrange the meeting or any events, like any events that can facilitate for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Tango. I would like to. Okay. Just a moment. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to pass the floor to Heidi. Heidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Geeta, for your question. So from my experiences in student organizations, I found two of the biggest challenges. One is time management, managing different passions and opportunities and obligations that we have. Second is managing different people with different wants and needs. But from my experience as a head delegate of my delegation to Singapore back in June, I managed to resolve an internal conflict that we had by communicating with both parties and clearing all misunderstandings. Something important about different personalities is that we also need to manage our expectations between each other, something that I would also definitely instill in my subcons as well, so that whenever there's a conflict, we know what to expect and what not to expect. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, okay, we do have Rajesh Sharma. Rajesh, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Rajesh Sharma, IPSF India. I would like to propose to close the floor for the discussion.
Okay, proposal has been made for the discussion to stop. I would like to ask the full members if you are for the motion to stop the discussion here. Okay, I understand that there are 4 more people who have yet to speak, but if you wish to stop the discussion here and move on to closed discussion, please put a Y. Otherwise, if you do not wish to stop the, okay, sorry. We do have a proposal for this. Do we have any seconder? Thank you. Seconded by NAPSA Australia. Proposed by IPSF India. If full members, if you wish to stop the discussion here and proceed to close discussion, please put a Y. If not, please put an N in the chat box. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Can we help to count? From scrutineers as well. Eight, 4. Okay, with simple majority, this procedure motion has passed to stop the discussion, and we will proceed. We will close the open discussion and proceed to close discussion. Can I get the live stream to be turned off, please? And get everyone to turn